Okay, let's cast on for our knitting project. We are going to cast on using a long tail cast on today. So the way to estimate how much yarn you're going to need for a long tail cast on is to wrap the yarn around your needle the number of times the stitches that you're going to do. So if I was going to do 10, I would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then maybe if I was going to do 20, I might just double that amount of that and start here. Now, and then I always throw in a little bit extra for good measure. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't, but it is the best way that I've tried and has generally steered me in the right direction. Okay, so let's say we've got the right amount here. The way we're going to hold the yarn, so I've got the tail over here, and I've got my yarn ball on this side. And we are going to, at the place we're going to start, make this slingshot. So you're going to have your thumb and your forefinger, and you're going to spread the yarn between those two, and you're going to hold it. So thumb yarn over the thumb goes to the tail, over the forefinger goes to the ball. Now, to start this, I am just going to hold my needle underneath, put my finger on it. That's really going to be my first stitch. It's not really a stitch yet because nothing's holding it there, but it will be in a second. So, got my little slingshot here, this triangle, and I'm going to hold the yarn right there to start. I'm going to bring the needle under the yarn on my thumb and under the yarn on my finger and pull it through. That's 2 stitches now. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'll try to show it to you here. Under the yarn on my thumb and under the yarn on my finger and bring it back through that loop. Under the thumb yarn, grab that finger yarn and pull it through. And you keep going until you have the right number of stitches there. I'll do it a few more times for you. What I find is that sometimes this tail yarn that I'm working with starts to unply because of the way I'm twisting it, and that's perfectly fine. I just let it go and it twists itself back to the right place, and then I keep going again. If you're doing like 100 of these, I suggest maybe after every 10 or 20, put a stitch marker on there, and then you don't have to count to 100 at the end. And your tail yarn is going to get a lot more untwisted than it is here with my short bit that I'm casting on for you. But it will still happen. And it kind of depends on how your yarn was spun, and lots of other pieces. But all the yarns are going to react a little differently, but I've seen with most yarns it kind of starts to untwist. Nothing to worry about. So I'll do a couple more here for you. You see, as I go, I'm kind of dropping it off my thumb and I'm pulling it down, like put it back on my thumb. I'll show you that part one more time. And I drop it off the thumb there, and pull it down, and then it's back on my thumb. I'm kind of doing that as one step instead of as 2, so I almost didn't think to mention it. But it'll just become second nature after you do it a couple 100 times. So there you go. Now you're all set to start knitting.